Hi, my name is Songbro, and welcome back to Gloomhaven. It has been a while, hasn't it? Turns out that the tabletop simulator got corrupted, and I was not able to recover any of that stuff, and that was a pretty huge demotivating factor for me to not continue the series. I did actually have 2 more scenarios recorded, but at that point, again, I was demotivated. I was playing Monster Hunter World at the time, and then right after that, I started playing RuneScape again for, 2 years or something like that. I mean, RuneScape can do that to you. Anyway, Gloomhaven Steam version came out, and that's what we're seeing here is the Gloomhaven Steam version. And I was like, man, that'd be really nice to try and revitalize that level 1 scenario. And so I went back and started looking through my videos and stuff, and I played through a campaign, a 4-player normal campaign on here just to test the waters and see if it would be viable. I will say it was not ready at the time I did the campaign a couple months ago. It was lacking one serious thing, and that was the enhancements here. The enhancements weren't permanent at the time I was playing through the campaign, and so that means that you pay $100 for the Sunkeeper to get shield 2 bottom, and yeah, when it retires it's gone. So I was not really looking to do that at the time. Since then, there was a quality of life update relatively recently that allows the enhancements to be persistent, and so that was like, great, now we can get on it. So I have gone through, and this is the montage you're seeing in the background. I have gone through every scenario and tried to replay them as close to what I did on tabletop as I could. I tried keeping as true as I could, making sure everybody had the same enhancements when they retired, making sure everybody had the same personal quests, and basically creating and deleting characters until the 2 random quests that came up were the correct ones. The campaign has progressed, and it is now up to where I left off before the warehouse, which was the last episode. And the reason I can't do the warehouse is because I have no way of doing casual scenarios here as of yet. Unfortunately, my plan to do those Gloomhaven Battlements B, Square B, and Warehouse for the boss scenarios and the Gloomhaven scenarios for the Beast, Tyrant, and the Cragheart is not going to be true. The last 2 videos that I had recorded that I didn't upload were me doing Battlements B and Square B, so since I can't do them anyways, I'm just going to let those vanish into non-existence, whatever. Let's see, what else am I missing? Things like the prosperity level. Right now the prosperity level is prosperity level 4. I don't think I was at 4 when I finished the campaign, or when I was doing the tabletop campaign. I think it was just under 4. And the reputation, I don't remember what I was, but I was pretty low. I'm only at -12 right now. I'm trying to get to -20, but unfortunately I can't help what road events and city events I get, and so there's no way for me to control that. Whatever city events and road events I got are what I got, and I just have to deal with it. Same thing with the Great Oak. I don't think I was even at devotion level 1, which means I didn't donate 100 gold. Or the first 100 gold. I'm at 200 gold now. I was using this to boost up my prosperity level to make sure that I was at the right prosperity level before I finished the scenario that dropped your prosperity, and I guess I overdid it a little bit. So my devotion level is higher. It's fine. It's not really gonna matter for much. What are the minor things where there? Random item designs. Obviously, again, it's random. I can't really handle the random stuff. So a couple things to note about the Gloomhaven Steam Edition. When a character retires, I'm not able to keep track of, hey, this character's retired 3, this one's retired 2, and so on and so forth, to keep the perks even and appropriated to the character, the spot that was playing it. The way that Gloomhaven Steam Edition works is it looks to when a character retires, it says, okay, how many perks did you have when you were created? Okay, well, we'll increase that by 1. And then every newly created character looks to whoever had the most and starts with that. So there's no way to itemize it or appropriate it to the correct slot. So if someone has retired 5 characters, every character created from then on will have 5 bonus perks, which is beneficial to me because perks are very important for a level 1 character. We'll go with it. It will work itself out over time. Looking at the rules, I played through on normal difficulty, so this is technically level 1 scenario difficulty, just to progress through the campaign, to get to where I needed to generate the gold that I needed to, and to get there. Now that we're done with that, we're going to go back to what they consider hard difficulty. And again, this is equivalent to the recommended difficulty of what the Blue Rulebook recommends for a solo playthrough, because our characters are able to synergize together. So this is like playing on a level 2 scenario. You get more gold, which I'll be getting 3 gold per pile instead of 2. So if you see any gold picked up in the montage, it's only 2 gold because it was on a level 1 difficulty. So Gloomhaven Steam Edition has a couple of house rules, and the first one with the attack modifiers, this is in the base game. You can choose to do a more casual one of there is no big hits and there's no misses, so that's the +2 and the -2. We are going to play with the original modifier layout. With Frosthaven on the horizon, there is a new way to do advantage and disadvantage. So the original one, if you have advantage and you draw 2, the rolling modifier gets added together, versus comparing the two. And if you keep drawing rolling modifiers, you keep drawing until you draw a non-rolling modifier, and then you take it, whatever it is. And oftentimes that would be a miss, and that doesn't feel good. And then in disadvantage, you just ignore non-rolling modifiers, or you draw until you have a non-rolling modifier and then ignore the rolling modifiers. And it's clunky, and I don't like it. The new one is if you have a rolling modifier, you keep drawing until you draw a non-rolling modifier. You compare the 2 non-rolling modifier cards, you pick the best one, and then you apply all the rolling modifiers to it, which is great. Basically, if you have advantage, you will not ever draw a null, and that feels really good. Advantage is a lot stronger now. With disadvantage, you draw 2 non-rolling modifiers, and then you pick the worst of them, so that makes sense. Line of sight. So I played through the Steam Edition campaign almost in its entirety. And there was one scenario, and we haven't gotten into it yet. It's called the Savas Armory, where there's a lot of small rooms connected by doors and whatnot. And with the original line of sight rules, with a straight line hex, and if I can get a picture of it, I'll put it on screen right now. In a straight line hex through a door, technically, based on the rules as written, that is not line of sight. That one spot right there is not line of sight. And I was furious. I'm like, there's got to be a bug. You guys got to check your line of sight rules. And I drew some lines and things like that. It's like, well, no, technically, that one starts at a wall, and that one over there also starts at a wall. So there is no corner-to-corner line of sight. There is a new line of sight variant from the center of hex. So if you have a straight line hex, you will have line of sight. So I'm glad that they added this. This is a much welcome surprise, and it's definitely makes more sense, because in a normal game, it's like, hey, it's a straight line hex. Obviously, that's line of sight, right? You're not checking every single corner. And anyway, the next one isn't so major. I just have it on because this is just what they recommend. I did play through with no focus, no move, and this is how we play it in our base games. And it's what this means is no focus, no move. So if you cleared a room completely and your summon is at the start and you're trying to run through and there's no monsters, your summon is just going to stand there. This one, you can choose to have your summon walk towards your mercenary, so it'll keep up and won't be left behind in the first room if it was summoned next to the door or something like that. So a welcome change. It wasn't really required, but it is certainly nice to see. What else do we have here? Oh, one other thing. So, for instance, and I should have this right here. The Harrower Hive, because it was like in a hidden envelope or something like that inside the box of the physical game and on tabletop, I don't remember where it was. There was a card that says, unlock when you think you deserve this, and, well, if you think you deserve it. This was just given to me by a random city scenario, I believe it was. So there is some different ways to unlock stuff in this Steam version. In addition, if a quest is already done and the character's unlocked, it unlocks a quest but doesn't tell you which one it is. And then it gives you a random item design, and it tells you what the item design is before you retire. Unfortunately for this, the random item design can be one that you already have unlocked. And likewise with chests that have random item designs, they can be ones you've unlocked. It's not mutually exclusive, and it's frustrating sometimes because some of those items are really nice and powerful, and I would like some of those. But that was also part of the reason why I had to create and delete my characters over and over again. Because even look at this: experience 2 others achieving their personal goals. This was what the Tinkerer had. I can now select this for a newly created Mind Thief. And I found that of the 40, I think there's 46 goals, it would pick a random 2 of the 46, even though there were 10 already completed. Even still, if a character in my party had a quest, it could also pull that one. So I could have all 4 characters have experienced the other 2 achieving their personal quest, and then none of them would ever retire, in theory. And so it was a real pain in the butt to get the right personal quests. In addition, so I just created the Mind Thief here just for posterity. You can see that he has 75 gold. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with that yet, because I'm wealth level 4. He starts with 75 gold, even though he's level 1. I think in our campaign, we were only giving them the 30 gold to start with. I might just leave this and just go with it and say, yep, we're Gloomhaven wealth 4, so we'll start with 75 gold. Whereas in the real game, you get 15 gold per level that you are, I think. Or at least that's how we always played it. We always leveled up to whatever the prosperity level was, so we never distinguished the difference. However, this does open up a very interesting way of save scumming, and we're not going to implement it anymore. In setting this up to match the campaign, so I could get things like the right prosperity level, I could get the right devotion level, I can get the enhancements, because you can spend this money for the Mind Thief now and go and buy enhancements. And then when you're done with that, you can go delete the Mind Thief, start a new one, and have 75 again. So you can buy more enhancements, or you can buy more Temple of the Oak and boost your wealth. We're only going to reserve save scumming for very specific situations. I did it some on the setup here because I needed to make sure that the characters retired with certain enhancements to match what they were in the campaign. One thing that's sort of limiting about the Gloomhaven Steam Edition compared to physical is that when a character finishes his retirement goal and the quest ends, he comes back to Gloomhaven, they retire instantly. So you can't sell the items and buy enhancements and that sort of thing. So anything I want to enhance on them, if I want to make it permanent, I need to enhance it before he retires, or take note of what items he has, and then when he retires, I can quick save scum a new one to then use this money to do any sort of enhancement like that. So I will potentially do save scumming in that situation where he retired, maybe even unexpectedly, and I want to be able to quote unquote sell his goods to then buy some sort of enhancement. And this will scale with the prosperity level, fortunately, so that will actually be a pretty good boon if that ever happens. But again, we're not going to do that as regular practice, and I'm not going to go and spend 75 gold and just upgrade the Mind Thief for the hell of it, okay? It'll be very specific situations that we'll do that. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up the commentary of the montage. If there's anything left of the montage, it'll just be quiet or, with the music in the background. But I will need to come up with a new plan because I can't do Warehouse and the battlements and stuff. Fortunately, they're both on 2 scenarios because I did go back and casually do battlements A again with the Sunkeeper as a way to get her exhausted one more time. So they're currently sitting at 2 Gloomhaven scenarios and 2 boss scenarios. I think the plan right now is just to continue down the abandoned sewers route because there's one there, and follow that to the conclusion. So we'll go through the sewers to the deep ruins and go that route to finish the Cragheart. And then when we're done with that, maybe we'll go back and casually do like Diamond Mine. I mean, at some point we'll have to go back to the Infernal Throne, so maybe we'll make that the 4th boss scenario for fun. Because we've gone down the Rebel stand and killed all of them off. And so now we'll go back to the Infernal Throne and get back the artifact and then go purify and that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's actually, I like that plan. So we've got 2 boss scenarios. We'll finish up the Cragheart to get him out as soon as possible. Go back to the Diamond Mine for that boss. And then go to the Infernal Throne. Oh, I guess we also have the Temple of the Eclipse. And Soothsinger. Well, Soothsinger needs Watcher Mountains and Dagger Forest, so we'll put off the Infernal Throne because one of the guys needs a lot of elementalists. We'll figure it out. I don't know. So thank you so much for watching the recap here. It's good to be back.